Welcome to the Lead It Culture podcast, where every episode is about learning how to grow and thrive in today's culture, rather than letting the culture define who we are. Here are your hosts, Kenny Mason and Edgar Ruiz.
Hey, what's up, everybody out there that is listening and watching? My name is Kenny, and I got Edgar with me.
That's
what's going
right.
on, Edgar?
What's going on, man? I'm excited.
Nothing much, man. We're back at it.
Yeah.
And, well, they've been listening, but they're back to the one we're doing.
Yes.
Okay. So, so man, we're just so pumped to be with you guys again. And today we're going to be talking about pursuing your passion.
Yeah.
Pursuing your passion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, this is a big topic because, I mean, you know, we're all passionate about something. And if you are, then it's very important to pursue it, how you're pursuing it, what you're passionate about, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So, I guess we can open it up with talking about what does that look like for us personally. So, Edgar,
that's good.
what does that look like? What did that look like in your world? What does it look like in your world to pursue a passion or your passion?
Yeah. So, man, I'm trying to think of like where I'm at now and how that kind of started. But I went to school for accounting and
Okay.
did not like accounting.
Yeah.
I loved math growing up, loved
Accounting
numbers.
seems hard.
It was
outside
like-
looking in.
It's not like too hard. It was complicated. It was like a
'Cause
lot
that's
of
a
different
business
things.
major, right? Is that business? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to take a bunch of different business classes along
Yeah.
with then the accounting classes.
Yeah.
But I always liked numbers, and I didn't really have a direction in which like
Let's
what
go.
I wanted to do.
What's your favorite? You like numbers?
Yes.
What's your favorite math?
I'd probably say either algebra or trig.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Trig. Now trig is hard.
Trig. I like trig. I liked calculus. I wasn't too good at calculus, but I liked calculus.
I
Yeah.
took pre-cal and I was like, no, sir. No, sir.
When I got to college, I didn't take calculus, but I tried to teach myself to do Calc 2 because I took Calc 1 in high school.
Dude.
But yeah, so
Algebra is where it's at.
yeah, I do like algebra.
Yeah,
I do like
distributed
algebra.
property, baby. I love it. Yeah.
But back to the
Yeah.
to the question. Yeah, no. When I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, I knew accounting was not it. I really started to realize that a lot of the things that I'm good at, a lot of things that I'm passionate about, I could end up doing this. And through some time time I spent praying and just really focusing on what I want to do, I realized like working with youth, working with students, and really leading them, teaching them. I love seeing. I realized one of my biggest passions is seeing people grow in their leadership,
Yeah.
seeing people grow into who they're gonna be, and
good.
young men becoming, or young students, young boys becoming young men, young
good.
girls becoming young women.
Yeah.
And it was really following my passion that I started to realize, like, the more I poured into my strengths and into my passions, I realized this is something I could do.
Yeah.
And the more and more I did it, the more and more I realized, like, I may not feel qualified now, but I know that this is something feasible, that I can do it, and I know I will love doing it.
Yeah.
And I mean, to this day, I mean, it's by far the best job I've ever had. I love doing it.
Right. Yeah. That's
And
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what about you?
I grew up passionate about so many things. I remember when I was little, I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be a police officer. I wanted to be, you know, I had a lot of passions.
Yeah.
But in high school, I really grew passionate about, you know, like just communications, mass communications.
Okay.
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I went to school, Virginia State University, go Trojans. And I went there and studied mass communication with a concentration in film and television.
Okay.
And I mean, that was, I just, the thing that I really loved was editing and, you know, stuff like that. And so I went there, had some great opportunities, and, you know, did that. So obviously that's not what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a little different.
I know. Says every millennial. You know? So like, I mean, I'm not doing that now, but I mean, and sometimes what I thought I was passionate about obviously wasn't something that I was going to pursue for the rest of my life.
Right.
So
Right.
I think for me, the lesson that I took is that I still had to give my time. I still had to give myself more time to develop. Like Kenny had to develop more to see where I fit in, in today's world. And what am I truly passionate about? What do I truly love? Because obviously if I could just give it up that easily, obviously, am I really passionate about it?
Yeah.
So I mean, just like you, I love seeing people get called into. I just love seeing people rise to the occasion as a leader, taking ownership, growing. Like me, I saw you one year, and then next year I see you, and you're mentally like you just propelled, and I'm like, oh my God, that is
I love seeing people when like you see them, and I'll know someone that's like a very like shy, back of the room kind of person, and then out of nowhere you see them like step up, and take charge of something. Like,
Yes. It's like you were not here last year,
right?
But you were here this year, like, and you want to know like how they got there, like. And I think with that, like, if you once you see somebody in that, I think it's so important to be able to help them, because maybe they are developing, and maybe that's their passion, and whatever they're stepping up to do. So helping them to pursue that. So one other question: what do you think what does it look like when you find your passion? How do you pursue it? Like, what do you like? How did that look for you? Like, what should the pursuit look like?
Yeah. So for me, once I realized what I wanted to do and what I was really passionate about, I first thing I realized was, man, this is not a job right now. I can't do this right now, and I need money.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
So I started to think, what are some jobs that I can do that my degree will end up allowing me to work in, but at the same time, I know this isn't long term. And so I worked as an office manager for a little bit, realized that administrative work is not my thing. I can't get organized to save my life. I'm working on it. But yeah, organization, calendar work, managing like systems and stuff like that. That's not me.
Yeah.
And worked there for about a year, but on the side, I was still working with youth and young adults. And being a part of groups, we're also leading groups. And I wasn't getting paid for it at the time. It was something that I was doing because I love doing it. And it was growing me as a leader too. It was growing me for what I wanted to do in the future. Ended up, that job didn't work out. I was like, all right, I still need a job, still need to make money. And I know that this isn't feasible yet. And so started working at a bank. Same thing. I was able to I had people skills. I have number skills. I love numbers. And I was like, all right, it makes sense to work at a bank. Worked at the bank and still did what I was doing on the side. And I think that's my recommendation for a lot of people, a lot of young people, whether you're in middle school, high school, or if you're in college and you're kind of starting out, you're trying to find out what you want to do. If you're unsure yet, take your passion, something that you're passionate about. I'm not saying 17 different things, but one or two things that you're really passionate about. And it may not make you money. It may not be something you can pursue as a full-time gig right now. But if you work on it on the side, if you take 2 hours a day to just work on that special thing that you love doing, on that passion, continue to pursue it. And in a few years, maybe in a few months, who knows? It can become something that is sustainable. And
I think when you said don't have 17 different passions, I grew up with people in school, and they were just a hustler. They just had a bunch of stuff that they wanted to pursue and do. And I'm like, dude, like my advice to them now would just be like, bro, pick one or two. Have a backup plan. Dude, you don't need to be like having 17 different things, like trying to have a lemonade stand, and then I'm making cookies, and then I got cheesecakes on the side. I also make pound cakes, and I'm selling shoes too. It's like, dude, you need to pick. I'm fixing laptops. It's like pick one or two and just pursue it. And I think that will ultimately lead for you to have more clarity and peace. Right? Because when you are like, I want to do all of this, it says a lot about your mind. And you need more peace. And to have more peace and more concentration on that one passion, you got to pick one and not have a bunch of them.
I think it's also it can be very discouraging if you have 15 different things that you want to be really good at. But when you're focusing on 15 different things, you're not fully focusing on one.
Right.
So you see all these other people that are focusing on just that one and they're excelling at it.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's because let's say you only have 2 to 3 hours a day to pour into these passions or these skills that you want to grow. If you have 15 different skills, you're putting in 10 minutes a day on each one instead of taking the time putting an hour, 2 hours on one or two different ones.
Yeah.
And so I think it can be very, very discouraging if we try to just focus on everything that everybody's doing.
Right. Yeah. And that I mean, that's just so true because even when I was in school, as if you're listening to this and you are in high school, middle school, you're in college, your passion might not look like your best friend's passion.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like I thought all the time that what my friends are doing, I'm gonna do too.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be lonely. Because maybe what I wanted to do was like a lonely department, I guess. You want to say that?
Yeah.
And everybody else is doing this. You know, I went to college with people like that. People were in school and they were studying mass communications because their friends were. And it's
Hating
like,
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely
They don't
hating
like it. And you
it.
well, why are you studying this to be a major? You really don't like.
Right.
You know, you know how much money you're paying for school.
Yeah, no,
You here
seriously.
because your friends are there. Come on, man. You know, so and then I was probably like, yeah, do it. But now I'm like, come on, bro. But you gotta find out. Look at how do you find your passion, right? I mean, that's a good question. Sometimes I tell people like, whatever you love and you just can't live without, you love doing it, you love drawing, you love art, that's a passion.
Yeah.
If you love to speak, that's a passion. If you love to, if you love agriculture and you love, just stuff like that, that's your passion. Everybody's passion is different. Take your passion and own it. And when you own it, go after it. Figure out what steps do I need to take to Google it. I mean, Google like who is the most successful person in this field and like learn their testimony, how they got to.
Find like mentors, get plugged into like a group of people, maybe some people starting out too, and then all y'all have 2 or 3 mentors that are teaching y'all.
Right, yeah.
Because I think going along the lines of that same discouragement, even if you're pouring in all that time, but you see that there's no results, you need people with you to keep you accountable and say, no, like stick to it, stick to it. It'll work out.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
And that applies to any field.
Yeah.
That applies to anything.
Yeah, I think it's so easy to give up too on what you're passionate about, but because you're passionate about it, you have to use that and keep going.
Yeah.
Because if you could just give it up, then maybe you weren't that passionate about it, and or maybe, but you got to keep going because that's the best way that you as a middle schooler or a high schooler or in college, you're gonna get better at it if you just keep going. So that's what I'm saying. With passions, like you were saying, like finding, if you're only motivated by wanting to make money or wanting to pursue it because everybody else is doing it or having your own little thing, that motivation is going to run out. That's good. Yeah.
But when you have something that truly is motivating you, that it's not just something physical, but it's either yourself or you have a family that you want to support, you're keeping them in mind, that will keep motivating you on like the worst days.
That's good. Yeah. Because money is, a great motivator. It is.
Yeah.
Because you do want to take care of yourself, your family, and eventually one day you want to, and if you're in school, you want to get the clothes that your dad said, I'm not buying that for you. I'm not buying those Jordan ones for you. Yeah. And then you get a job and you get like, I'm going to buy my own Jordans.
Right. I got adult money now.
I got adult money, So it's just like I got my own money, but money is a great motivator. But at the same time, as you are being developed, at a young age, you're gonna realize that, and as you get older, you're gonna realize that sometimes what you're passionate about might not make the most money.
Yeah, exactly.
But you just gotta trust that, eventually it's gonna, be good for you if that's something that you truly, truly, truly love.
Yeah.
And I think any field you can grow in that and, make an earning or make a living out of what you want to do, especially if you're passionate and you really enjoy what you do. So sometimes it's not gonna make the best money, and I think that's how we end up in places that we don't want to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we want to be a doctor, we want to be a lawyer, we want to be whatever other field that makes a lot of money. I know.
Engineers usually.
Yeah. Oh yeah, engineers. Yeah. But you're like, it makes a lot of money. It's like, well, how say this? Like, paint a picture of this. You go to college, you graduate high school, you get into the college, you graduate, you you go to grad school, you get your doctorate, I mean, whatever. You're in the field that you thought that would make you a lot of money, and you're making a lot of money. You're very successful. You got everything you've ever wanted, but are you truly happy?
Yeah.
Did you truly pursue what you were passionate about, or did you pursue what you perceived that could make you the most happiest?
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the difference. Like, this can make you happy, but are you passionate about it?
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's a good question to ask yourself that you're pursuing something. So
Yeah. And as we wrap it up, I think I'll give like one last statement. You give one last statement.
Yeah.
Motivation. If you're listening to this or watching this and you don't know what the next step is, follow a passion. Doesn't mean drop everything at the next second. Doesn't mean drop everything right now, but follow that passion, because 9 times out of 10, more often than not, your purpose, your calling will be in line with what you're passionate about. Whether it's directly a full-time job or indirectly something you're doing on the side that is doing a lot of good or benefiting not just you but people around you. Follow those passions. Try to discern and figure out, is it something that I could do the rest of my life? And if it's a passion, even better, because it's you love doing it. That in itself can be a motivator because you just love doing it, like Kenny said.
Yeah, that's good. And my last piece of advice is to stay in school. Yeah, that's it. Just stay in school. No, I'm just joking. But I mean, I'm being for real though. Like, if you do stay in school, it's like you're still being developed. So I mean, whatever you think you're passionate about, keep it in your pocket and just say, okay, let me think on this. If this is something for me, And the more you are in school, the more you are looking at other relationships and other, identities, and you're trying to figure out who you are. I think, a big piece to figuring out what you're passionate about is figuring out who you are as a person. So once you figure out your identity, and shout out to the Identity podcast, we did that. So go back and listen to that, okay? It feels cool to say that. Go back and listen to that, yeah. So once you figure out who you are, which is probably the most powerful thing in the world to know. You then figure out what you're passionate about. So find out who you are, keep being developed, stay in school, and, so that's all you got to do.
Yeah. Thank you, Kenny. Anyways, as we wrap up. Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
By the way, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching and for listening. Make sure to tune into any of the other podcasts that we have, all the other episodes, as well as any other podcasts. Like right now, I know Family is either coming out or it might have dropped already.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you listen to that with your family. We look forward to the next episodes. We will see you guys in the next one. Make sure, I'm all over the place.
It's all
Make
good.
sure you all, if you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, make sure you leave a like on our Spotify and follow us so you don't miss out on any other episodes.
Yeah.
Love you guys. We'll see you on the next one.
See you guys. Have fun. See ya.
Yeah.